Good day, I am Javin Kurt Vargas and I am going to discuss the Module 6 of Network Security, which is Device Monitoring and Management. Our objective is to implement the secure management and monitoring of network devices. The topics to discuss are secure Cisco iOS image and configuration files, lock down a router using AutoSecure, third, routing protocol authentication, fourth, secure management and reporting. Next is network security using syslog, NTP configuration, and SNMP configuration. Cisco iOS resilient configuration is the faster recovery of NVRAM and startup configuration. So basically, this feature secures a copy of the router iOS image file and running configuration for faster recovery in case someone tries or unintentionally erases the flash memory and startup config. To enable, you just have to type the command secure boot image or secure boot config. And to verify, type the command show secure bootset. Primary bootset image. Image of software that the device should use for boot up. The steps for primary bootset image are: first step is reload the router using reload command. Step 2 is enter the dir command or directory to list the contents of the device that contains the secure bootset file. Third step is boot the router with the secure bootset image using the boot command, followed by the flash memory location, a colon, and the file name found in step 2. Next step is enter global configuration mode and restore the secure configuration to a file name of your choice using the secure boot config restore command, followed by the flash memory location, a colon, and file name of your choice. And lastly is copy rescued configuration. By doing this, you have to exit the global configuration mode and issue the copy command to copy the rescued configuration file to the running configuration. Discovery protocols CDP and LLDP. So CDP means Cisco Discovery Protocol, while LLDP means Link Layer Discovery Protocols. These protocols reveals a device addresses, platform, and operating system details. The table on the left side of this PowerPoint shows the recommended security settings for protocols and services. CDP should be enabled, LLDP should be disabled, configuration autoloading disabled, FTP server disabled, TFT server disabled, NTP service disabled, packet assembler and disassembler service enabled, TCP and user datagram protocol minor services enabled in version L.3 and later, and so on and so forth. So for Cisco AutoSecure, it is the baseline security policy on a new router. AutoSecure can lock down the management plane functions and the forwarding plane services and the functions of a router. It is often used in the field to provide a baseline security policy on a new router. Features can then be altered to support the security policy of the organizations. So to enable, you just have to type AutoSecure and then you just have to choose from the parameters shown below for the security policy that you want to implement. Routing protocol authentication. Dynamic routing protocols automate network information sharing. The activities included are network discovery and maintaining routing tables. The advantages of routing protocol authentications include selecting the best path and adapting to topology changes. Network discovery shares information dynamically among routers. Routing systems are vulnerable to attacks such as disrupting routers or spoofing information. That is why authentication, either MD5 or SHA, secures routing protocol updates from trusted sources. And OSPF routing uses MD5, but SHA is preferred for enhanced security. Secure management and reporting. Network devices generate valuable log informations for troubleshooting and security. Managing logs in a large enterprise can be challenging. To information network security using syslog. Syslog protocol is the most common method used for system messages. Syslog allows devices to send messages to syslog servers. Cisco devices can send messages to internal or external destinations. Syslog messages have severity levels ranges from level 0 to 7 and facility codes. Level 0 to 4 is a software or hardware malfunctions. Level 5 contains messages for normal operations but significant, while Level 6 is for normal operating events, and Level 7 is for debugging messages. In addition, syslog messages includes timestamps and can use an NTP for synchronizations. Syslog implementations involve log hosts or servers and clients, which are the devices. Cisco configures syslog with commands like logging, logging trap, and logging source interface. Router or switch software clock is crucial for accurate timestamping. Synchronizing time across devices is vital for network management. That is why Network Time Protocol or NTP is preferred for time synchronization. Stratum hierarchy categorizes time sources in NTP. As shown here in the figure, we have a sample network consists of 4 stratum levels. Stratum 0 is the most authoritative time source, while NTP Stratum 1 devices are network devices that are directly connected to the authoritative time sources or the Stratum 0. They function as the primary network time standard to Stratum 2 devices. Obviously, Stratum 2 servers are connected on a network to a Stratum 1 device. Stratum levels ranges from 0 being the highest and 15 being the lowest stratum level. NTP servers in the same stratum level can be configured as peers to provide redundant time sources for clients or to synchronize each other. Lower strata numbers indicate proximity to authoritative sources. NTP configure on devices with the NTP server command. SNMP or Simple Network Management Protocol manages network devices like servers, routers, and switches. SNMP has 3 elements. First is manager who runs SNMP management software. Second, agent, which resides on network devices and enable network data collection and sharing. And lastly is Management Information Base or MIB, who stores standardized variables that contains network data. MIB organizes variables for monitoring and control. MIB variables enable the management software to monitor and control the network device. There are 3 versions of SNMP, namely SNMP v1, v2, and v3. SNMP v1 is obsolete or out of date. That is why SNMP v2 and v3 are relevant. SNMP v3 is strongly recommended for secure data transmission because SNMP v1 and SNMP v2 can neither authenticate the source of a management message nor provide encryption. SNMP v3 adds methods to ensure the secure transmission of critical data between managed devices. Version 3 provides for both security models and security levels. A security model is an authentication strategy set up for a user and the group within which the user resides. A security level is permitted level of security within a security model. A combination of the security level and the security model determine which security mechanisms is used when handling an SNMP packet. SNMP version 3 authenticates and encrypts packets over the network to provide secure access to devices. This addressed the vulnerabilities of earlier versions of SNMP.